Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something a listener brought up using chapter 2 of the Gita Wisdom. Basically, how do we get things done in our lives without being totally overwhelmed by whether we succeed or fail? Our mission is to pull out some practical ideas on this. We're looking at karma yoga.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's about moving from just, well, knowing stuff in theory
hmm
to actually applying it. And the core, the real bedrock here is this idea from verses like 2.47 especially. You absolutely have the right to your actions, to the work you put in. But the fruits of that action, the results, those aren't really yours to control.
Okay, so you have the right to act, but not necessarily to the outcome. It's not about just doing nothing then.
Not at all. It's about full engagement, doing your best, but without that constant anxiety about what happens or, the opposite, just not caring at all.
Right, like that listener, Nisha, studying for her medical exam. The fear of failing was almost worse than the study itself. Her teacher had a great analogy, the gardener.
Oh, yeah, the gardener.
Yeah.
Tends the plant, waters it, gives it sun.
But can't force the bloom. It happens when it happens. And the Gita suggests even a tiny step towards this mindset protects you from that great fear of not measuring up.
And that links directly to the next point about focus. Verse 2.41 talks about yavasaimika buddhi.
Which is?
It's like a steady, single-pointed intelligence, unwavering clarity. The text warns us not to get distracted, especially by chasing worldly rewards, things promised in ritual sometimes, if you only see them as the end goal.
So spirituality isn't just another thing to consume superficially.
Precisely. You don't want it to become just another status symbol or distraction.
Like our listener Ishan mentioned, he went to so many talks, collected books,
Right.
but still felt, I don't know, restless. He said it was like he was decorating the temple but hadn't sat quietly inside.
That's a perfect way to put it. The real depth comes from that internal work, not just the external activity.
Which brings us to, I guess, letting go of needing everyone else's approval, external validation.
Yes. Verses 2.45 to 47 touch on moving beyond even the initial layers of the Vedas, the parts focused on the gunas qualities of nature and worldly benefits.
It's like self-help books, maybe. They can help you optimize things.
Sure.
But maybe the real goal isn't just being the most optimized person, but stepping off that treadmill of chasing outcomes entirely.
Exactly. The text suggests the purpose of all that knowledge, even the Vedas, is fulfilled when you understand your true self. Well, then the rituals, the rewards, they become less essential. Like you don't need a flashlight once the sun's up.
And that brings us back to 2.47 again. It seems really central.
It is the heart of karma yoga. Act because it's the right thing to do, your duty you're offering, not purely for the reward. And crucially, don't use detachment as an excuse for laziness or inaction.
Right. Like Akarab with his nonprofit, getting bogged down by the numbers, the inconsistent results. But when he shifted to focusing on the work itself, the value of just doing it, he found peace there, regardless of the metrics.
That's the freedom we're talking about. Freedom in the action. And let's be clear, because people misunderstand this. Verse 2.47 isn't saying stop doing things.
No, it reaffirms purposeful action.
It's like a reset button for our outcome-driven lives. You shift the focus away from the money, the praise, the metrics, and onto the act itself, as your duty, as an offering, perhaps.
And avoiding that trap. Well, if success isn't guaranteed, why try?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's giving up. This is about surrender, but in strength, committing fully to your part, like Anya, the violinist listener.
Ah, yes, after her performance.
She felt she hadn't played perfectly. But her teacher reminded her, the music you offered, the dedication, that was yours. The silence or applause afterwards, not yours to control. Your job was to give your best in the playing.
So, summing this up then, what are the key takeaways?
Well, fundamentally, you have the right, and maybe even the responsibility, to act with sincerity and focus. That's your domain. The results, however, they unfold due to many factors beyond your control.
And real freedom, real peace, comes from loosening that grip on the outcomes, finding the value, maybe even joy, just in the doing.
Don't let chasing results pull you away from what's truly important in the action itself, and ultimately realize that inner peace doesn't depend on getting that external thumbs up.
Okay, so here's a thought to leave you with. Think about one area, just one, in your life where you feel really attached to a specific outcome, really tied to it. What's one small shift, maybe just in your thinking, you could make to focus more on the process, on the action itself? What kind of freedom, even a little bit, might that bring? Something to ponder.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.